Hello, hello, hello. I am Myles Sergé alongside my co-host D-KNOX, and welcome to MS Live. What up, D? How you doing?
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, my brother? How you doing today, man?
I'm chilling, chilling. Kind of feels weird to be back. We've been gone for like at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a nice little rest, man. like a real vacation. Talking to you folks sometimes it's taxing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't think they realize what it takes to bring this show. So
yeah,
that's why we always ask you guys to, show
exactly,
some love. Just hit the subscribe button.
exactly. It's been good, man. I just been working a lot myself. Work's been crazy, so it was kind of cool to just have a little break. And then just in case you guys don't know, I mean, this is the last show of 2025. So yeah, we've been doing our thing. So, but that being said, let's take care of some business. If you like what you're seeing, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Helps us get the program out in the algorithms and lets people know that we're doing stuff. So if you like it, share it, and subscribe and hit that button. So I forgot to do my thing, but that's what it is. So we are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And I don't like what's going on. They've been doing some new stuff with this stuff already. Amazon Music. So hit us up there if you don't want to see our faces. That's great, but you can listen to us. Also, you can follow us on Instagram, MS Live at D-KNOX. MS Live with D-KNOX. MS Live with D-KNOX. And on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Myles Sergé. You also can email us, mslivewithdknox at gmail.com. And see, this one says, this is weird what's going on, man. New updates and stuff. So it's kind of crazy. Also, if you want to support the show, you want to help us out, help pay some bills, whatever else we need to do to grow, you can scan that QR code that's in your corner right there. It's a PayPal to donate to the cause. Support the show via PayPal, mslivewithdknox at gmail.com, or just simply scan the QR code like we said on the screen. Yeah. So, today, this is weird stuff happening. Today, our guest today is probably one of my favorite producers ever, to be honest. My personal journey when I first started DJing, I actually was doing house, and went over to the techno world, and his records were probably one of the first things that were ever in my collection. Legend, pioneer, you name it. I had an opportunity to meet him some years back when I went to go visit Donnell in Poland. We hung out, had some coffee, kind of showed me around, and had a good time. D, I'll let you do the introduction. How about that?
Oh man, this what can I say, man? This was the sine wave king, the man, the sine wave boss, man. Like as you said, I had so many records back in the days of Damon's, and I would see him at parties. Never talked to him physically, but I just saw. I remember one time in Chicago. I think you were there too. At one of these like in the high school gymnasium, Damon was DJing. He was killing it.
Yeah,
It just sounded funky and groovy, and So he's been a friend of mine over here in Poland, pretty much the whole time I've lived here. So it's nice to have him here. Another person doing things similar to myself, and outside of the music, just a really great friend, man. So, with that being said, let's welcome the sine wave boss to the show. Let's bring him on in. Yeah.
give it up, Damon Wild. How you guys doing?
Hey, boy. Hey, D. Hey, Myles.
Hey,
What's up?
I'm good. How are you guys?
living.
We're still here.
Yep.
That's it. So if you watch and you may know or may not know, we tend to put names to the episodes. That being said, episode 31, New York City, New York, with Mr. Damon Wild. That's appropriate.
Yeah. Very appropriate.
New York City. Yeah.
Because that's where my memory lives of him. You know, from my start of buying his records was New York.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of that whole New York crew, man. You know, so it's like there's no words to put to this. It's an honor having Mr. Damon Wild here.
I don't even know where to start, to be honest, but
it's got to go back to the 90s, getting the Myles, your first.
I go back to my childhood.
Like coming up. So
G.I. Joe days.
Yeah, exactly. So I do have a question though. So how did Sine Wave come about?
Well, that all kind of derived back from EX Records when I was working at Northcott Productions in New York, and I was doing A&R and working with Silvio Tangretti and Tommy Musto at Northcott Productions on Broadway, and we just kind of like went different ways with the direction. Where we're going with EX Experimental Records, and that was a great label and really fun to do. I really respected the fact that Tommy Musto and Silvio were allowing me to do this kind of music back then, like to sign different artists, and it was quite cutting edge at that time because in New York it was mostly house music and freestyle, hip hop. And the kind of stuff we were doing was kind of strange to bring to the stores around New York and things like that. So anyway, we were doing that label for a while, and it kind of just it was going well, but things changed, and I decided to go my own way, and I started Sine Wave. So it's kind of derivative of EX. Hello?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Because like I said, like my first, like I said, I started out in the house, and outside like the Detroit techno stuff, and then like Richie and Plus 8 stuff like that. I was like, somebody was like, "Yo, check this out," and I believe it was one of the records you put out. I believe it might have been the Red Dog release, the 10-inch, I believe.
Yeah, the Red Dog. Yeah,
and it was that, and I was like, "Damn, this is dope." You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to figure it out. All right, this is Damon Wild. Okay, who is this? And I kept seeing it, and it was like, I swear to God, it was like every week there was something coming from Sine Wave. Every week or every 2 weeks, it was always something new, and every release was on point, and it was like the bomb. It was like hard hitting, but just funky and like pure, like now you would say like peak time stuff. It was really, really dope. So if I had to go count, I got mad releases used, right? The label just sitting in the basement right now, and it's just this timeless music, and I will say that. And I was just always curious. I never seen you, like I never had a chance to go see you anywhere, play anywhere like that. But I know you've been around, like especially like because of coming up in Grand Rapids. I think you probably in Chicago a few times, so I just never made it. But then the music was always coming, so that's how I kind of like got to know you, especially through the music. So I've always been a big fan.
Cool.
And it's always been dope music, and it's still dope music.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Enjoy it, and I'm glad there are people that are following what I've done in the past. I mean, some of the stuff is like 30 years old, and going back, and people are still buying it and playing it today, which is really cool to see. There's a lot of new people out there, new generation now, and they're still digging back into history, which is really cool to see them go back and to be playing this stuff still now. It's like actually it's really kind of popular again, 90s techno is coming back. I mean, Jeff Mills is doing the Live at the Liquid Room tour again, which he's playing a lot of the old school again. So it's nice that, you know, this music can be kind of timeless if you follow your heart and you do what you believe in, and you got to keep it, I would say always funky, but there's something that's, you do what you do and you do what you feel, and don't, you know, care so much about being so current all the time. Because when I was doing sine wave, I wasn't really trying to follow any trends. You know, I was just doing whatever we felt and having fun, making the productions, and just doing whatever, you know, we felt, and trying to be different is sometimes cool. So I mean, that's what basically techno should be. It should be an art form, and nowadays, you know, technology and how we produce, I mean, that's a whole other subject. But
Right. Yeah. So how was how was the New York scene when you were coming up?
Well, when I was coming up, actually, I used to live in New Orleans, Louisiana. So we can rewind a little bit back into the late 80s. And I can go back a little bit before New York, so it makes it a better story. I mean, I was living in Chicago for a while. And then I moved down to New Orleans. And then why? Because my father lived down there. So I was going to school there. And that kind of actually was the beginning to 80s music. So I was actually DJing in some clubs down in New Orleans. I was playing on the radio, college radio, actually, when I was a teenager. So I was really into 80s kind of music. And this was a generation I kind of grew up into. Well, the 70s too, with my mom, you know, playing Pink Floyd and The Who and, you know, Alice Cooper or whatever. But, you know, as I got into the 80s, I grew into you guys too. You probably, I mean, we're in the 80s a little bit, right? I mean, we're a little bit age, but you can't knock it. It's probably the best time for some of the best music ever created. And for me, at least for me, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like this cross between, you know, electronic music and the funk mixed with it from, you know, the 70s, kind of driving into the electronic age. So it kind of got really more interesting for me, and it had an edge to it. So I really liked that. So I was playing a lot of music like that. Then later in time, I met a friend of mine in New York. Her name was Moneypenny. I don't know if you heard of her. And she was doing a magazine called Brand X Records. And it was kind of a newspaper back then. And she was going around and very supportive of underground music in New York. And she kind of invited me to come up to New York and to DJ, to start getting involved up there. And one thing after another, I just took an Amtrak train and went up to New York. And eventually I met up with Frankie Bones and Adam X. And that's like the Brooklyn Sonic Groove posse, we could say. And they kind of actually got me into the whole thing there. You know, they actually we met there. I was a big fan of Frankie Bones, and at that time, and I loved the store. And then actually, Frankie got me a job with his manager, Silvio Tancredi, who was working at Northcott, like I said before. And so it was that was the kind of pyramid. You know, Silvio was kind of like the father to all of us over there. And he passed away. I don't know, but he was very supportive of Frankie, of working with Tommy Musto. The whole New York kind of underground scene was he was like the father to me. The whole thing. He helped us. He supported us, and so so I kind of got down with them, and then eventually I got my own flat, and I ended up living with Joey Beltram in the same house that Joey Beltram and Frankie Bones, and we were kind of like sharing a house together in Brooklyn. So we were doing that, and I just kind of like learned some stuff from him. He kind of told me, you know, some good gear to buy. We were good friends, and we still are. You know, he's a good guy, Joey, actually, and he kind of inspired me to start getting some gear, and he told me to go down to Sam Ash, maybe get this Tascam board, maybe get MPC 60, and I just got going into it. I really loved the whole thing. It really, you know, it resonated well with me. So what I'm doing, And I started DJing with it all, working at the mail order as well at Sonic Groove Records, selling records all over America to people. So if you bought records back then, you may have been buying them from me. So going out to Watts Music, and we were picking out some of the new releases coming in from Europe. They were coming into the store. We would get them, and we'd drive out there. So it was a great time. And later in time, I started Sine Wave. So that's kind of how it all, I got to New York. And then I started DJing a little bit at the Limelight, sometimes at the Tunnel, Mars. Even the Palladium I got a gig at. So it was a really fun time. And so it's that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that definitely opens it up for some questions.
Yeah,
about the two cities, especially Chicago and New York. Because I was going to ask you, what was like early life like in Chicago? For you, the day to day, and what was it like in New York too? And also hanging out with the folks, like you said, Adam X and Frankie and them.
Well,
and people in Chicago.
When I was in Chicago, I wasn't involved with the music scene too much. I was just living there, going to school. I was quite young. I was living in Evanston, Illinois, actually, and my father was living in Chicago. So I was just living there. I didn't have any. All I remember back then was playing 8-track cassette tapes and just enjoying the times of Chicago. But I had nothing started with like Acid House or Bad Boy Bill or any of that kind of stuff back in Chicago. But that all happened more when I moved to New Orleans and to New York.
So what was it like hanging out with the guys? Sonic Groove.
They were
the day to day.
It was very different from living in New Orleans because when I moved to Brooklyn, you see a whole bunch of a lot of Italians and a lot of guys driving around listening to freestyle music and pizzerias everywhere. So it was a complete different culture, but interesting as well for me. But Frankie and all those guys were very cool. They just loved the music as well. We all had something in common of just loving techno from all over the world. That was our main element, but it was good. Also I met Ray Love, who was working with the store as well. We made a really big track together called Toxic 2 Rave Generator in Brooklyn together. So it was fun. We're doing these storm raves. Frankie was doing the storm raves with Adam X and Jimmy Crash, all these kind of guys, and they were like real underground parties going on near the train tracks, and it was real underground back then.
So like sometimes you guys were getting together at the studio and hanging out, working on maybe some tracks together, with some of the Sonic Groove crew, and also there's other guys you were working with too, like Dennis Ferry and some other people.
Dennis Ferrer was a bit later. He actually did a great record for EX Records called Or's Fear. Dennis Ferrer. He's a great New York house producer and artist, we can say. And we just hooked up from EX Records. We just say, hey, you want to work on some stuff together? And we clicked well together. We did Morph together, and it was really nice working with him. And I just saw talent when I saw it. I said, this guy is very talented. I never would expect him to blow up the way he did. But, it's really, we clicked well in the studio, and it was good.
Yeah. I was always wondering, because I remember seeing some pictures of you in your studio back then. I was just kind of curious. Like, I wonder if he had some of the same instruments I had, like Juno 106, 909, probably the reel-to-reel. But I couldn't tell because I was trying to see. So I was basically trying to put your world into my world of how Jay, Fanon, Chance, and all of us was doing it back then, where we all had gear, but then we were going to each other's cribs and making tracks and exchange, and, letting Chance use the keyboard or drum machine, and Myles, when we were doing our thing back in the day, the same way, hanging out at each other's studios. So I was trying to figure if something like that was happening too with you guys in New York as well.
Yeah, we all had our kind of basement kind of studios. I mean, my studio
Mhm.
was just my bedroom studio back in sine wave. I had my bed on one side of my flat, and the other side of the living room was my studio.
Yeah.
And I had a big, I had a soundtracks or a Tascam board, then I had a Mackie board. Back then we all used analog, right? So we
Yeah.
never had the definition of VSTs. We had no choice. I mean, even internet didn't exist probably back then for us. So it was a time where we just focused on hardware, right? I mean, we all
Mhm.
had. I was using, mostly an Atari STE sequencer, I think it was, and just syncing it all up to. I love step sequencers, so I was using that Doppler 16 MAQ 16
Mhm.
by 30 to make a lot of the melodies and hooking up with hardware, then linking a lot of that stuff. I was using my ADAT, Alesis ADAT, to record all the tracks down. But yeah, like we all had then, it was just hardware, and that's all we had, and it was cool. And you just had to use what you had, and use 8 tracks. That's about all I could really use, and that's all I really wanted on the ADAT. Sometimes to be live, but I like to really track everything down, record it down. And back then, I didn't really use any. I didn't use any compression on the mixes or on any major effects. Just had like Alesis microverb or something, maybe lexicon and some simple effects. But it wasn't. It was never about all this heavy studio production. It was just down
Mhm.
working on it, focus on what you got, and just mix it down, and that was it. Probably for you too, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Pretty very similar because I
Yeah.
remember even in Kalamazoo not having the box spring and having my mattress on the floor
Mhm.
and like right basically next to my bed was my gear, like right
Yeah,
there,
I like it
you
this way.
know.
Yeah. I like a
Yeah.
homey feel. It's never been for me important like a really big fancy studio. For me, it's not what this music should be about, really, in my opinion. I mean, it's changed. That was at least how it was when I was doing it. I think bedroom studios are very cozy and cool, and the most important is you're relaxed. Your mind is your main element, and knowing your gear and knowing what you feel good with and connecting into it. It's always been about that connection with your gear and knowing how you relate with it. It's not really for me. It's not the always the so much gear you need. Just focus on what you got and try to do and communicate from what you're trying to do at that time.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's very true.
That's
Yeah.
what I think.
So I mean, like around that time, like to me, it just seemed like you, um, man, I'm like losing it today. Like you guys, like you, and then the Sonic Groove guys. Like as far as New York, it's like you guys had techno a lot. You know what I mean? And I think for me, if I really all the techno that was really really coming out, that was like I think that was like really really truly techno was like coming out of New York at that time. Did you have like any idea like how far your sound was like going across the world, or like to me at that point
Yeah.
that the silent techno was sine wave.
I mean, I don't know really the word to define techno. I never really got into so much definition of the word, but I mean, on EX Records and Sine Wave, I was never, I like a lot of my roots are house music. A lot of it's house, Todd Terry, or even, a lot of the New York house, Pal Joey, the Strictly Rhythm, all the early. I grew up into the Chicago house, probably like you guys too. So a
Mhm.
lot of our roots, or a lot of my roots, are not really, there's a mix of lots of generations of music. I mean, even in New Orleans, I was listening to Frankie Beverly, Maze, Funkadelic, Herbie Hancock, Rick James, Apollonia Six Prince. So all this stuff kind of like over these generations, and even before that, it was disco, and so all these generations of music we're seeing going by us, that those times had soul, they had stories, they had feeling. Even the house music, a lot of this had music was made in underground studios. It was edge about the whole thing.
Mhm.
poor guys making tracks in their studios on SP 1200 or something. That's all they made, and they were just doing it because it had feeling in it. It had a lot of funk, and you could feel it. So that's where I come from. That kind of feeling. And then in Detroit, music is kind of like a lot of the Detroit stuff is in Chicago. It's kind of had that feel too. That dirty kind of lots of emotion and feeling. That for me is techno. It doesn't always. The techno in the world today has changed so much. It's a whole different genre. I think it's a lot different. It changed a lot in the late 90s, in the 2000s into now. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just changed a lot from a lot of the where EX and Sine Wave and Plus 8, all those kind of labels, that was for me really nice techno, like because a lot of it derived from the times of the 80s and 90s, from the 80s and 90s. So a lot of the labels that were running back then probably had a lot of inspiration from before.
You think like currently like techno now, you think it's like missing that soul?
Well, I mean, there's so much music out nowadays. It's just a cumulance of so much music, and it's been like this for a long time. And, it was anyone can release their music. It's hard to say because in majority, when you go to a lot of clubs, I find that even the DJs, there are a handful of good DJs, but a lot of them are just playing. I don't know, it's lacking a lot of the feeling and a lot of the story that a lot of DJs were doing back in the maybe in the 80s and 90s. If we go to clubs, I remember going to see Tony Humphries back in New York, or David Morales, and I don't know, Little Louis Vega. Even these guys were playing, and they were making such a feeling when they played sets. Even Laurent Garnier in France, you hear him play. He would play stories. You hear the theme going on. There was a night where you could hear this is like a book from the beginning to the end, and that's for me a nice where a good story should be. And it shouldn't be always. I don't know what the word techno is, but I think it's good music.
Right.
Exactly.
Music is music.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah,
those are the kind of spirits of EX and Sine Wave that I've always done. I never try to be always predictable. I like this kind of stuff. I like deep stuff. I like, funky stuff. It's just, it depends also on the generation, the times we're going through. It might reflect onto the music that I'm releasing. So it's never going to be predictable, we can say. It does always have a sound and always has some kind of element that people I want to say, oh, that's a Sine Wave record.
Right. Yeah. Do you remember your first production?
Okay.
Oh, did he hear me? Oh, did you remember your first production? The first record you ever made?
Oh, I think I can't exactly. I think it was called Peace of Mind. It's called Acid Overdose on Atmosphere Records. I forgot about Atmosphere. Yeah, Atmosphere is another label we ran out of Northcutt as well, and that was a cool label. Actually, that was, I don't know if you know the release by Mundo Music, First Revelation, and he released on Atmosphere. And Mundo's from New York as well, another great New York underground producer that made some beautiful music. Who kind of gets left out of the New York scene because he's kind of a quiet guy, but he was on Atmosphere as well. So I think that was one of them. And Acid Masters, Strictly Rhythm. I did the one with Moneypenny called Unleash the Groove, and that was with Blue Jean, a guy from New York, a jazz kind of house guy. We did it. I think that was one of my first records, like productions, we could say, maybe. Going back in time.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Those guys could find it. Something like that. Yeah.
Lester.
King
Les. King Les.
Lester. Hey, Lester. Yeah, I remember Lester Fitzpatrick. Yeah. Hey, Lester, you're here.
Yeah, he actually said this. Ask him about the DJ Power Out story.
Oh God. DJ Power Out. Well, DJ Power Out. Well, DJ Power. What's this? What is the question about DJ Power Out? Yeah.
Yeah, well, Lester, I guess he's saying.
On Sine Wave, we have lots of different producers and different people who have made different productions, and they're different aliases, we can say. And yeah, DJ Power Out made some good tracks. We don't always go into details of all the different producers and their privacy.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what.
Yeah.
Who he says. Who was he? But I don't know.
You have to do more detective work. I don't give all the answers here.
Yeah, you got to play Columbo. Lester got to play old Columbo. Find it.
Yeah. So what else we got?
I like to keep mysteries alive. Yeah.
DJ Syndicate 0001. Did you paint trains with those cats, Frankie, Adam, and Joe?
No, I wasn't into the graffiti thing too much. It looked like fun though, but I didn't get into that too much. Yeah, I did ride a lot of the trains. I love New York. I love the subway system in New York and go around. But now that's more Frankie, Jimmy Crash. I think maybe was doing that, and Joey. Joey loves that stuff. Yeah.
You know what's funny with Joey? When I remember watching Beat Street, I told Joey one time, like on Instagram, he put up one of his pics of him painting on the train, spray painting the train, and I made a joke saying Ramon, from Beat Street, because I said you kind of similar, the head shape looking like Ramon from Beat Street, because that's the same thing he was doing. He just kind of had a laugh with it,
Yeah, Joey, he's a character. I mean, Joey for me, he's definitely the New York, one of America's, best techno producers ever.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to his early stuff. It's just he was ahead. He was another level. Yeah, you go back to his stuff he did on Trezor, and even the stuff he's doing on New Groove. He did a record. What was it, EX, like Code 6 stuff, and some really great, amazing music he's made. I mean, everyone knows that, right?
Oh yeah.
But he for me, if I give New York some real credit, I would say he's the main icon of New York techno.
Yeah, man. Them records were definitely loud.
Yeah, Joey.
I remember.
Yeah. And a great artist, graffiti artist too.
Okay. Yeah, I never knew that about him. I don't know much about. I know the records, but as far as like other stuff, I don't know that much about him. So I need to start doing my research too.
I remember when I was living in Brooklyn, and the irony of the whole thing, we were living on a street called Avenue U in Brooklyn, in Bensonhurst, and it was between streets R and S, and he ends up being an R and S. Isn't that weird? Yeah. Yeah. But I was living down in the basement when I had my bed and my studio down there. It was cool. And upstairs was Frankie in the other room, and Joey was living in another room. And I heard one day this meow, 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 meow. I was like, here he is banging Energy Flash upstairs all day. And I hear this. I never thought that, this would be.
So you actually heard it?
I was in the house when he was recording it. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Maybe it did some good damage to me. Some signals to me. Yeah. Well, it's amazing. He was playing me like a lot of his early stuff when he was going to Belgium and coming back and playing me my sound and all the records he's done. But yeah, Avenue U, RNS, that's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
how did you and this guy link up? You and Mr. Donnell Knox.
That's a good one. Well, Donald, what's your memory of that?
Well, we met over here through a mutual acquaintance at the time, which everybody knows him as Echoplex, Mr. Peter Slavinsky. Peter basically, just to break it down a little bit, he got us both over here in Poland. Me kind of more by accident, because I was never intended upon living over here. He had some gigs set up when he knew that I was going to be on tour in France for a month. And because he was doing a release for me on Sonic Mind, which Aaron Bennett, I don't know if you remember him, Myles, he was asking me to release Peter and Paku because Jay backed out of it last minute and didn't want to release Peter and Paku on Black Nation. So I decided, me and Aaron sifted through these demos that Peter has sent all these tapes, and then Aaron I said, you just pick 2 tracks or something. He picked 2 tracks, and I said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So once Peter learned that I was coming, to France, okay, I'll invite you over to Poland. I can get some gigs. And then Damon, I ended up meeting him through Peter. I think about a year after, maybe a little under a year after I was already over there. Because I had
there first.
I was who Paku?
Who was first? You or Damon in Poland?
I was over there first.
Okay.
And then he came later. I know we talked on the phone for a brief moment before we met in person, because it was a weird situation with a release or something, with Peter and on my label. And I was just trying to make sure we weren't releasing the same material. Like that I wasn't releasing the same stuff on Sonic Mind that he was releasing on Sideway, because I had already paid the individual at hand. So I did, it was like just trying to protect, the money and the label at that time. But then like you said, Damon, once he was in Poland, we met, and then I remember telling him, I remember a few times when I saw him play in Chicago, I never went up to him personally. I was just off to the side watching him DJ. But it was like funny that we were close those few times, but then finally in Warsaw.
Yeah, we finally just kind of hooked up, and I don't know how it happened, but we just always kept in touch. And man, we live like, I don't know, 5 kilometers away from each other. It's like we hooked up. And actually, we were in Berlin together a couple weeks ago. We went there together and stuff. So we often hook up for eating together, and we work in the studio. We haven't actually finished anything yet, but we're hoping to finish up some stuff. But we even are working around some gear. We're getting some ideas. We talk about gear together a lot. So we keep the music, but we talk a lot more than just music. Donald's been always a good friend for me over here, and known him for a long time now. So yeah.
And he's recently got me back into the iPad world, because I was dipping my toes into it, and I kind of left it alone, which I shouldn't have, because there was one particular program, Drambo in particular. I was learning it a few years ago, and I just kind of, I think I got to learn other stuff. But then he just said something one day, and it came over, and I was like, you know what? No, he's right. I should have stuck with and listened to him a couple years ago, because there's so much I can do in this iPad. I can basically make my hardware studio in this iPad and have it with me anywhere I go, and and like bust out tracks, putting my own samples in there or whatever. But so I'm glad that he hit me to that.
I'm always trying different stuff. I was about to say, so I'm always trying things. And
say whatever you want to say.
I'm always trying, what I was going to say, but basically I'm always trying different shit, so like working out all different things. And that's for me, techno, or any musician, we're always looking for other ways to improve or to grow in new territories of sound, so I'm always trying. I've been doing that back in New York too. I was always going into exchange gear, try some gear. This keyboard, I like it. I would bring it back to a music store called Rogue and buy another one, exchanging stuff. I was nuts though. But nowadays I'm a little calmer but we can all become gear junkies, addictive. Sometimes I chill for a while, but then sometimes I go on these buying sprees, and but like I was trying the iPad for a while, working and using like technology to make music, and there are a lot of cool apps in the iPad, that you can hook up, a lot of ways to, I did a lot of my productions actually on my last album, Pleasure Builder. A lot of it was done on iPad, actually, using different apps and using it into Ableton Live and doing processing on it. But I mean, it's an amazing piece of gear. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten bigger, but it's fun to use. Yeah, but
Yeah.
now I'm doing some other things again. I'm going I'm going back to some old hardware again, and you know, different trends, different things. Yeah, I get bored quickly.
Yeah.
How was this last time at Bernheim though? I did want because he put me on a list, people, but I got there, I got in that line, and that line wasn't moving. That I'm talking about the line, even if you're on the list, the guest list line wasn't moving fast enough. And I said, okay, by the time I get in there, he gonna be finished.
Yeah, it
So I
was a
kind of
good
just
time. Yeah, that was a good weekend. The night was actually it was the daytime set.
mhm.
That's Bergon, and I didn't actually think it would be that great. You know, playing in the daytime. I played there a few times before. It was in the nighttime, but I was kind of looking forward to it because I can play in the day and be awake and not be tired. And I thought it'd be a chill set. Actually, I wasn't even expecting it to be banging in there. And now when I get in there, it's the DJ before me was playing pretty hard, and then I look out and it's packed, you know, and it was great. I mean, the Bergon has always been good, but I think the last time when you came, I wish you would have gotten in because it was a really great night. I mean, day. It was a great Sunday, a great worship service at Bergon. So it was good.
Did you DJ or you do it like a live PA?
No, I was DJ. I DJed
Okay.
4 hours, and from 12 o'clock to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And yeah, it was fun. I had a great time. I mean, sometimes it can be like, oh, you're losing a crowd, or you're not feeling it, or you start getting nervous because you're not connecting. But when I was playing the last time, I really felt a great connection, and it just was the energy was happening, so it was good. I had a good time. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Some sets can be like that. You can start off and you can just feel it's going to be, this is going to be a shitty night. It's not going to work good, or are you stressed and you're not, or some equipment failure, some technical problem. It's not, something isn't clicking right. You're not feeling it, and then it can just all fall for the beginning. But then when things are starting off good, and you already got a good mix going, and the crowd is connecting to you already, you can just take them on a journey in there, and you can go everywhere with them if you do it right. And it doesn't have to. In Bergon, you can play deep, you can play funky. The Berlin Germans are a great crowd. For me, they're one of the best in the world to play for.
Kevin says, you have any new releases plans for 2026? I'm sure you do. But
I don't really have plans. I'm not like a lined up label. Actually, last year I didn't release anything. I took kind of a year off, and I've been working on a lot of new stuff lately. Probably I'll be releasing some of my new stuff on Sine Wave soon, and I want to do some other projects or some other labels I've worked on before. But I don't have anything specifically lined up, I can tell you right now. But I just when I feel it's ready, I release it. I got a nice remix of Donnell. He did a great remix of my new track that I've finished, and I will be releasing. I'm really happy with the remix. That will be coming out probably on Sine Wave or some other label, but I think it will be on Sine Wave. But he did a really nice mix for me.
My pleasure. And y'all know I don't really do remixes.
Yeah, that's
really
20 times. I ain't got no remix.
Yeah, the remixing. Yeah, I've kind of like chilled on that myself. It's kind of like stuff. But I want to include Donnell somehow into Sine Wave. We've known each other for so long, so we're gonna do it.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Expect great things, guys. Expect some great stuff because we're on this music.
There's no rush. I don't release things on Sine Wave like a machine, like a label, like releasing every month. I have to release a quota, and if I just release what I feel, if I feel it's ready, it's ready. If not, it's not ready. It's not cooked yet. It's not out of the oven yet, right? It's not ready to hatch.
Yeah. Somebody back up in there was, if you got mine really quick, was asking us please to interview Echoplex. We have no plans to interview Echoplex.
Where did I go? I actually seen that.
He's up. I don't know this guy's name, but he was way back up there. But
we
just wanted to address
some records together on Sine Wave, so there are probably some people here who are interested in sine wave and
Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Echoplex.
Yeah, we don't really have any I lost contact with the guy years ago, so I don't know. I know he had a YouTube channel or something, but
we made some great records together, though. I must say, like we did make some great tracks. Peter,
he's a talented guy.
I wouldn't know Donald if it wasn't for Peter, and Peter got me into Poland, and he did his things. We kind of went separate ways, but we made some great Nightworks productions together. And Peter's a great producer. He made some for Poland. He made some good stuff, but there are a lot of good Polish producers coming out here as well. I'm also doing some stuff with Jurek. I can never say his name right, but
Jurek.
PRZ. Excuse me, but I cannot pronounce the Polish last names. But he's one of the best from what I know in Poland right now, and Warsaw. We've done a product together. We're called, and we're working on some new productions as well. So we'll be out for next year.
There's a lot of people. I mean, my guys are private press. That's Adam and Yannick, and they're young dudes, but they, private, they've been doing stuff for Ben Sims and other big labels. But
there's a scene developing definitely here in Warsaw. So good clubs here. I don't really play at them, but there are some good clubs here and stuff like that. So there is a scene here. So it's cool.
And we can't forget Jacek Sienkiewicz, one of the old classic guys. He's a good friend of mine too. He makes, because he had the same situation. He's got a bunch of gear like us. I used to go down to his downtown studio where he had pretty much things that we had like back in the days. But now he's moved to another location, and we haven't talked in a bit. But there are some guys here that don't release. Right. They just buy gear and they just make music, and they're really good at it, but they have no desire really to put the record out. They're just fun. They just love
like
making music, and they have everything. Some of these guys have everything you could imagine. I remember my one friend Tommy told me, "Well, Donald, I don't have a car like you have, so I put all my money into gear." And I was like, "Well, I have a car and I have gear, so I don't know what you're trying to say with that, but I want to have both."
I think the world now, how technology has changed so much, where everyone now can have Ableton Live at home if they want it.
Exactly.
It's just a program, or people can buy some simple gear, and it's almost become like a therapy for people. They don't need to release music; they just like to make melodies. They like to make music, and it's therapeutic. That's why I've made a lot of my music. It kind of like meditation for me. When I go in, I make, maybe the same for you guys, but when I make music, I don't think of it like, oh, I'm going to sell it. This is going to make money. I make it because I'm enjoying it. I'm connecting to something. It brings me away from life. I don't have to drink any alcohol or take any drugs. I can just make music, and it brings me away. It's like very it's deep,
Yeah.
And sometimes that magic happens, and it's good. I think it's good for my mind. It's good for my health. So
it always is. And we got this, we got this something different. I call it the something different that other people we went to school with they don't know. A lot of them don't even know about this world. They may, I heard techno, I heard house music, but they don't understand the whole distribution or going to record stores, making friends worldwide because of it, the sacrifices you make getting gear and spending your last money on a record or some studio equipment, staying up late nights, actually making music and buying tapes to record it on or whatever, your whole life being evolved around it and what is done. It's a whole, like a special world. And even like, let's say my mom understands. She knows that, okay, he's doing something in there, but she can never see it as like a serious thing. Even as many times she saw me going to Europe, she saw the fax machine and everything, but it's like still in her mind, oh, okay, he went to school, he got to, a little degree or whatever, he has a job, but this thing is just like a hobby for him, but she don't understand the whole world of it. We know people in Japan or South America because of this. We've changed people's lives.
Imagine your techno would be without the internet, and it's just it's changed everything. With everything, the world has changed with the internet.
Yeah, then you got to rely on Jockey Slut and them old magazines to get the information around. That was our internet back then. Oh, okay. They reviewed my record. Oh, they want to do an interview with me and Jockey Slut. Or what was the other one?
You remember that magazine out of Germany called Raveline? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Raveline, and I was always checking out their charts and stuff like that, and just getting those papers, in America, newspapers back then. Those were the time. Now everything's online. Just pop online.
Click. Oh, he's going to look at his RA thing, or
You can talk to the artists. You can see how they're doing. Artists are doing weird pictures and faces, acts on the screen. Man, it's crazy.
The only problem I got with this internet thing is some of these people, they don't know me at all, but they think they can just start writing in my inbox like they know me, and I get some people, very intrusive, invasive. Like, here, you can release this record, or here, I'm gonna give you, check this guy out. Go ahead and release his stuff. And then 10 minutes later, did you check his stuff out? And I'm like, man, you lucky behind the keyboard, dog. Because we wasn't face to face, and you pull that crap. It's like I don't just get just the bravery, and audacity. Sometimes I don't do that to people. I might kindly ask, well, okay, where can I send you promos to? Or, how can I get on your promo list if it's possible? Or, I would like to send you some music. So where can I send it? But I get people just Instagram or even on Messenger. Boom, here's a link to my DJ mix or my release, and check these tracks out. And I know, I like to have it released on vinyl. I'm like, well, who are you? That just kills me.
Yeah, at least you got the delete button, That's the great beauty of the computer. Delete the trash can. So at least you don't have to see these. If you don't like the person, you don't do them, just block them or delete it.
Dude, one time, I think I sent it to you. I had some dude ask me for the vector files from when I was making those Kalamazoo shirts.
Oh, wow.
Some dude, some DJ, some kind of famous DJ from Ukraine maybe or something. He asking me for the vector file so he can print the T-shirts. And I was just like, I showed my wife that. I said, man, you got to be crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to just give you, come on. He didn't even ask to buy it.
James said that happens to me often.
It's an interesting
James, no. You know it, James. Yeah. Crazy.
Much love to Damon, one of my favorite people to perform with.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin Kennedy.
Thanks you for support. Yeah, I know Kevin Kennedy. I see him on there on the Instagram and stuff like that. Thank you for support.
Very DJ nice. Powerhouse.
Most of the guys, I must say, most of the people that I find, like Donald says, he always taught me, you spread positivity. It's like, and you keep positivity follows you. Donald's been always preaching that to me. It's true. And a lot of the people that I deal with on Instagram or, social media, they're all positive. They're helping each other out. They're giving us support. I very rarely find negative people with my network. So people I work with, and it keeps me happy. And that's kind of like what the music should do. That's kind of like what Sine Wave is doing. It's like feeding positive energy. We try to do that at least, the best we can. So whenever you get some negative people or negative comments, I try to not get too much into it. Yeah.
Tao 8365. Hello, guys. Techno. It's lifestyle for those who know. That's
right. It's a lifestyle.
It's our secret Illuminati club.
Right.
The second, people probably talk, oh, that's what they do. They're gonna control the road.
So Damon, you've been around for not to date you, but we've been around in this scene for a long time. So if there was something that you had to go back and you had the opportunity to change about this whole industry, this whole scene, what would it be?
Well, that's a tough question. Everything in life is constantly changing, but to change one thing, I wouldn't really change too much. I mean, I would just say, I would say money destroys a lot of creativity, like in all music, but I wouldn't change it. But I'm just saying, the money and the industry and how the scene has changed a lot in terms of DJs, in terms of agencies, how it's become so kind of mafia orientated. It's become corrupted in a way. So, I just, in a way, I wish it would just go back to people into music more and not so much into artists as icons, and to just get back more into music again. The music has kind of lost its, the artists should be known for their music, not for how many likes they have or how popular they are, or social media status. So probably social media is probably one thing I would like to, if I could take away from the scene, would be probably social media.
Okay.
Take it. I would love to delete it out and go back to it without it, and just back to music. So that would be probably also eliminating phones, but phones are one thing, but social media, basically Facebook. I mean, I use it. I'm not saying I don't, but it definitely has changed the whole scene. For sure, from everything.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
we go to that social media.
Cool. Well, I know, Mr. Wild, you got to go. You got some previous engagements going on, but
We got to go back to the kids. Got to put my kids to sleep. That's all it is. Yeah, I'm a dad. I got 2 children to put to sleep tonight. But it was a pleasure speaking to both of you.
Yes.
And hope it went well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good to know.
Oh, good. A lot of people commenting in there. A lot of people watching the live. But
yeah.
So y'all go and subscribe too. Just watch the live.
All right.
That's
Have a
true.
nice day over there, Miles. And
I will.
see you
Sure.
soon. Okay. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Take care, bro. Give it up for Damon, y'all.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good, man.
It was
Good
good.
show.
To the point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because to add to what he was saying about social media, what I just kind of realized after watching all the stuff on Instagram and TikTok too, it just seems like the way that, like, the old music business is done, and the new way is you need to find your community, of the people that's in your, like, okay, let's say for yourself, for example, Myles, you got your tribe. And it seems like you need to, focus like the promotion and things on them. Not like the old days where the music machine would just kind of go everywhere.
Right.
That's what it seems to be with these social, because then these companies and this whole social media thing is actually like even promoting smaller channels and everything from what I see. And they're trying to get to your people because they see that this is working. Like, just like with Hollywood now, you don't need to see the big stars, but you just kind of building on, your thing, and then it's just growing. That's just been my observation over the last year, just kind of seeing where it's been going. I'm like, oh, okay, I see that that's the way now. So it's kind of fun again, actually, where you can just hone in on to, okay, this is my community, this is where I'm focusing, kind of like my marketing and everything with music, if I'm going to market or just going to have fun and put things out. You do got to put some money behind it. Still, what I see too. Right. Just to be maybe in the Instagram ads or something else, to be seen. So depending on how much your budget is or whatever you're going to put, but you do need to do that, from what, in case somebody's out there listening needs to hear it, put some money behind your marketing or whatever, just so people can see your thing. And then they start to follow you and fall in love with you, and then it gets to your music.
Right.
It's just like, yeah.
Like you were saying, like, nobody's going to invest in than you but you.
Exactly.
And I think it took me a while to figure that out, but I think once I've actually did it, start to move. I won't say it's paying off, but it's moving a lot further than it ever did.
Yeah, think about back in the days. I mean, that's the reason why Sonic Mind, like I started Sonic Mind, because I said, okay, I'm just going to go at this thing myself, and it just, if I hadn't did it, I wouldn't be where I am now, so it's kind of similar now. Is a lot of people always bring that thing up when they say, man, no, my hometown or my own family, they're not going to support, they don't support me. Well, you can't really be mad at them because they're looking at you as the same, like them. You're in the same city, the same town, you're not blowing up. And they just see you as like the regular person, but they're going to support an artist from somewhere else because that's who they're looking to be. Like that to them, that's success because, he's not in the same hometown It's not your cousin or your family.
Right.
It's like somebody outside of the box. So better to focus your rely on strangers and people online supporting you before your hometown and your family or whatever that's close to you, because once these things do start to pick up, then they're going to support you and whatnot after, so because some people are still like trying to get the support of okay, my family should be doing and this, and then when they do start to support you guys, don't be mad, don't be angry at them, just because they didn't, that's just how it is. It might be too late for them to help you at that point because already took off, but don't turn around and see, you should have been supporting me before or whatever. But yep, that's what I see. Like getting online, okay, that's my aim. Those kind of guys in my realm, let me focus my marketing on there because that's what people are looking for. And some of these companies might find me too because they want to maybe use the music for some promotion or some merchandise or something or whatever,
Yeah. This is true. DJ Syndicate 0001, it's a hard time to run a label now. I view mine, it's more as a passion project even. I agree with that 1,000%. I speak for myself, at least like since I've been doing music, actually making music with the labels, I've never probably made any money ever to like live off of or just as profit, or maybe break even. But that's why, like, at least for myself, I do have a full-time job and I work.
I mean, I've actually lived off the stuff for times, but I always kept some kind, even if it was an on-call job, because I didn't want to be living off of it, if you know what I mean. I just save the money or put it away. But there were some times where, it wasn't where I actually lived off the records and some gigs. But that was a little, sometimes when you're a little bit, you get a little paranoid. Yeah, man, what if the gig stop? Or what if, they don't buy the records or something? It's, okay, I better go out and get it, even if it's at Myers or something, but give me a little part-time job or something. But, but hey, you know what I say to people, man, get a job.
Yeah.
Then it might even be easier. Maybe you don't need to go on DJ. I mean, you can do like Jazzy Jeff did. I love what he said the other day. He said there's people that's, older. They're not going to go to the club. They still want to listen to a DJ and watch a DJ in their living room on their couch. So you can even just go online and DJ. And there's nothing wrong with having a job, because actually having to look at the job as like an investment into yourself. Okay, instead of taking money from the bank or borrow money from people, you've got a job. You just work it out. Like, all right, even if I'm tired, no matter what, I'm 15 minutes every day, I'm going to do something, whether it's working in the DAW or something, like making a little drum beat or something, just that little consistency, it adds up. I finished a lot of tracks that way. Okay, I just open it up, did something for 10 minutes, a little bit here and there, and things got done. So don't ever be ashamed, guys. Some of you, because most of you probably don't care if everybody knows you have a job. But I know some people, I can't tell people I got a job. Man, forget that.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to let y'all know that I got it.
I'd rather have money in my, I'm not saying I want to have my money in my pocket so I can be a big baller. I'm just saying that it's nice to be comfortable and have all your bills paid and not have to worry about where food and your bills are going to get paid. But also, it's also can be nice because you have this sense of urgency. Okay, I'm at work. When I get home, I got to make this music.
Right.
And then you look forward to the weekends. If you're not working weekends, I got to go to the record store, or I got to go buy some new gear or just something. Because it's like your escape. If you having a job and doing music, you don't need it. You don't need that many vacations, because the studio is like your vacation. So
yeah, can be.
Anybody has a full-time job, kudos.
Give it up.
I mean, knock it out, man.
People. So yeah. Yeah, it was a cool interview, man. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, when we first started, we've been gone for a couple of weeks, just chilling, you know what I mean, getting stuff done. And we'll be chilling again. Like I said, today was the last interview for the year. We may or may not do a show, just like a crew show, me, D, Hakeem, whoever else, Roberto, just to
Bardo, Joshua, everybody, Terry, Cuzzo, Terry.
see what's going on, man. And that might be on the 28th. We're just trying to iron out some details, but that might be it. But other than that, I think our next show won't be until February. That may change. I'm not certain. We got some good guests lined up for next year, and we actually technically booked up until April.
Mm-hmm.
So we work here, and it's a constant thing here. So we keep you informed as we go, but things may change. But yeah, that's what we're doing, and doing other stuff to improve. Like I said, like you guys with an email, you send us a DM on Instagram, any ideas you guys may have, any improvement suggestions we hear. That's what those things are here for, to let us know what can we do to improve.
Also, if you guys want to volunteer and give us some help with some of them ideas, some of you guys that are good with AI, you got some ideas that can pump up the show even more. Maybe you want to donate some of your time to do it. You can donate that way too, not only money.
Yeah,
maybe some of y'all can market, push this show somewhere well over the rainbow.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows out there I've been noticing. Us, Adam X, Seth. I seen the show. I kind of went through it. They got bigger budgets than we got or whatever, but I think everybody's doing their own thing, and it's not too many of us out here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got our angle and they got theirs, but it's a lot of content and a lot of stuff out here that's happening. So support everybody, y'all, especially if you love this music. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. And speaking of support, if you want to support us donation wise, there's a QR code in the corner. And it takes you to this page on PayPal. If you want to donate, support the show, your donation helps us improve production and allows us to keep bringing you the conversations you love. We just did it 5, 10, 20, and other, however you want to do it. If you want to do it, if you don't do it at all, is whatever it is, but that's there. It helps us keep the show fresh and do other things that we would love to do.
Right.
Speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to our first donator is I want to say it's Deanna from Berlin. She hit us up maybe 2 weeks ago, and she wanted to donate. So this is how all this stuff we kind of talked about it and we did it, but to really come this form and this how it is now was because of her. And she actually did a nice donation that really helped us out, and we appreciate that. So I wanted to personally say thank you from me and Donnell. Thank you, Diana, from Berlin.
Next time I'm over there, I owe you a dinner.
Yeah, for real. She's actually like she's a dancer, like a dancer,
like Fame
the show, and like Fame. She says she's in the show and stuff like that. So that's great, and we greatly appreciate that. So, what are you doing for the holidays, man?
I convinced my wife for us to stay in Warsaw because we were supposed to go down to the family down south in Poland. It's about 4 hours away by car, but I don't know. I just wanted to have an easy kind of way at home. We got these animals here, and one of the cats got to have medicine twice a day. And it couldn't really, we didn't want to really bother our neighbors because usually our neighbors will come and look after them when we go away for some time. Where usually I'm away in Berlin or somewhere and she's home, or she goes down south to her family, then I'm home. But yeah, like I said, we're supposed to go. But Christmas in Poland, these people are serious about Christmas. So you gotta, it's a lot of, we need to bring this, that. And then, when you're visiting people, you got to be attentive because you're going to this person. It's the same setup of food, coffee, cakes, and the same food at each person's house, but you got to go around visiting it. So it's not like relaxing all the way.
Yeah.
Where if I stay home.
Like Easter when I was over there, how we were kind of going around.
Yeah, but just imagine that 100 times intense if you were, because you were just going there. But imagine going to people's house where no one's speaking English at all, and the older folks, and everybody's tightly squeezed and around the kitchen table or something. Then you're going from house to house, and you got to bring something every time, or it's not all the time, but you got to, you don't know how long you're gonna be there, and it just turns into work, man. Because Kalamazoo, we never did nothing like that,
Right.
But here it's so.
I was crashing out.
Exactly, that's it. But here, like a couple years back too, I did the same thing. I convinced her, let's just stay in Warsaw. And my favorite thing to do on Christmas Day is actually go to the movies. Because Avatar is coming out next Friday.
Yeah,
so
I think for that.
I would like to go to IMAX, watch that, and then in Warsaw, you remember we took you to the old town.
Mm-hmm.
There's all the cafes and restaurants will be open there on both of the days, like Christmas Eve and Christmas and the day after. So there's always something open, but we probably go, we'll go visit friends around here and their families that's really close, and maybe have some stuff with their neighbors too, and kind of stay home but do stuff around Warsaw. We might go to one little city that's about an hour out. It's like an older town, but a lot of tourists go there. You can get some nice things because to be honest with you, man, I just had been tired. So I just kind of wanted to relax more.
Right.
So, I mean, things could change.
Yeah.
Just 2 days before we just, oh no, let's go actually. Then, then it's like 2-3 days of work for me. So,
right.
Yeah. What you gonna do? You gonna go to Grand Rapids?
I'm going back to Grand Rapids and then Kalamazoo. I think we're doing. I think Christmas Eve at Emily's house with her family.
Okay.
And then my mom's on Christmas, and then I'm there. But I am doing this Saturday.
There you go, guys. There you go.
Saturday, December 27th in Grand Rapids. I am playing a party, Ancient Technology. From the Vinyl Fetish crew invited me out. So it's me, Briefcase, Shikati, I think that's right. If I'm pronouncing it wrong. There were DJ Sarah Halo and the Loon. No. So I will be there. I don't know what time this thing is kicking off, but this will be on my social media pages, so you guys will be links to go to that. But that's where I will be. So if you want to check me out, I will be doing that in my hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So please come out and support.
Yes. You know what's funny, bro? That same day you having that party in Poland over here, I was supposed to play at this Jasna One Club on Saturday, but then they changed the date to January 3rd.
Okay.
For the party I'm going to do there. I was like, that's cool because I wasn't sure if I was going to be down south or not for Christmas. So I kind of told them, not sure if I'll be back, but then later, okay, you actually do it on the 3rd. Okay, that's even better.
Yeah.
It's cool with me. So
that's what's up. Make sure you give us the information when you get all that.
I'll give it. And you guys will see it up if you're here in town.
Right.
That's going to pop over. It's going to be in the saloon part of Jasna. So I'm always playing in the main room, and like once I played on the bar stage, but the saloon is like they make smaller, more cozier parties in there. So I'm kind of excited about that. Nice. I never done that part, so it'll be interesting.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna do Time Code vinyl that night too, guys. So
okay,
there you go.
Okay, well there you go. Even more creativity from the man. What else I got? Other shameless promotion that I will do since it's our platform. I have a new record coming out. I'm not sure when it's exactly dropping. There are pre-orders on digital, not digital, excuse me. Juno, Dex, DJ. It's there. It's me, Fan. The EP's called Fan Pro. Basically, if you kind of take out the Fan Pro and go backwards, it's basically Pro Fan. That was my tribute to the Pro Fan label and Slash Chain Reaction, like that sound. I really want to do that. So there is the original track. I got remixes by Ackerman, Mike Darrow, and Tuxedo Mask. We did fabulous remixes, and technically this EP is technically 3-sided. If you buy it, there's a QR code on the back that takes you to 3 other tracks that you download. The classic version of Profan, and then 2 other glitched out W type things, like kind of chain reaction type things that are there. So that's that. Pre-orders are going now. I'm assuming it will be out maybe by the closer to the end of the month, but there it is. Myles Sergé Profan EP MS-13. Shout out to not the gang, but it's just MS-13.
Yeah.
Shout out to Anthony at 303 Mastering. Our boy Leonard Passo, or Lenny, aka Lenny, for coming up with the artwork. I had I was trying to bite the label a little bit. I think it came out pretty dope, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's it, man. That's it for sure. Other stuff we need to take care of real quick. Boom, our people at Lincoln Street Soap. It is that time to smell fresh and clean and not funky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be funky out here, especially for the holidays when you're with your people. But some good folks at Lincoln Street Soap are offering 25% off not your first order, any order, 25% off if you use promo code SOCODE in the D. That's SOCODE in the D. Hit that at checkout for 25% off. That's Lincoln Street Soap, www.lincolnstreetsoap.com. Check them out. Oh, and make sure if you order soon. So if you want to get your packages and stuff before Christmas to give to the people for gifts and stuff, order soon and to get there. Me, I also have a podcast that I'm doing called Somewhere In. It's basically all me, mixes I come up with maybe every month, every 2 months, or whatever I feel like it, from new music or just music I want to share with people. So Somewhere In podcast. The link right there is in SoundCloud, the short link, and you can also catch it on Instagram at Somewhere In Podcast. Mr. D-KNOX also has Sonic Mind Records, and I don't know why that popped up like this, because we're not supposed to be on the screen. So let me see if I can fix that. There we go. Sonic Mind Records. Go there. www.sonicmind.com. D, what do you got over there at Sonic Mind right now?
What I got going on?
Like what's over there? Like you can buy direct from you?
Or basically the links to Bandcamp and the other ones like Beatport and Juno.
Okay.
But go to the Bandcamp first, guys.
I need to push that. I'm gonna put that up next time.
Go to the Bandcamp link, because it's going all coming to me.
Yeah.
So I mean a little bit to Bandcamp, but more to me. So
but you can get to the Bandcamp page from this. So
yes, you can.
www.sonicmind.com. Check out the site. Hit the link to Bandcamp. Them releases are dope. He's been we issuing a lot of old stuff. So go check it out for sure. For sure. Boom. MS-13, a techno gang. Yeah, there you go. That's right. What else we got? Respect to all y'all bringing people on this production value, whether we need or not. We need this. Thank you for checking us out. I gotta find out who this is. DJ Syndicate.
He said Alan.
Okay.
He said this is Alan, by the way, guys.
Okay, I didn't see that. So join the show. That's great. Alan who? Wait a minute. We gotta figure that out. But thank you. Thank you.
It's not Alan in Berlin, is it?
I don't know. Nah, I can't.
No.
But then again, I don't know. Who knows? We will find out shortly. So, what else I got? I'm just going through stuff. I know I got to do some stuff. Oh, there we go. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Pushes us in the algorithms, lets people know that we're out there. Shows us that you like and you like what you like, and you support us, and it pushes us up. But make sure you like. Even more, make sure you subscribe to that channel. We are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. So you don't want to see us, You can hear us. Go there, subscribe, follow us there. We will greatly appreciate it. We can also follow us on Instagram at MS Live with D-KNOX. That's at MS Live with D-KNOX. And on Twitter X at Myles Sergé. You can also email us your bright ideals, your concerns, suggestions, guests you want to help with, or things you want to do. Just communicate with us. mslive@d-knox at gmail.com. That's mslive with D-KNOX at gmail.com. And you can also support us, like we said earlier, by scanning that QR code, or just simply go to PayPal. The email address is mslive@d-knox at gmail.com at PayPal, or simply scan that QR code if you want to donate to the cause. Greatly appreciate it. We also DJ, produce. D does live PA stuff. If you want to book us, you can. Me is at position2bookings at gmail.com. That's position2, POS2 bookings at gmail.com. Donnell is represented by the good people at Stellar Booking. You can hit them up to book Donnell, booking at stellarbooking.com. I believe they also have a Instagram site. We'll get that up to you shortly too. But go check him out. He's doing this crazy hybrid set. That's pretty dope. So check it out. But until then, people, I would say Donnell want to lead us out with a prayer or something, but I think
no. Let them just, wherever they are, let them just enjoy the show, the memory of Damon and us, and because we do have to go soon, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Some things we need to get done. So we hope you all enjoyed the show. And keep your energy high, your vibes high. Keep away from the negative folks, and you'll be all right.
That's right. Happy holidays from me and D, and we'll see you into the next year at some point. Check us out on Instagram to be further updated. But like I said, we may do a show on the 28th. We may do a show earlier in January. You just never know. But just keep checking. We'll let you know. Until then, peace, y'all.